This is what you've been waiting for. How do we actually take and drop treasures in an adventure game? I'm Huw. This is another lesson in my complete guide to adventure game programming. If this is the first lesson you've watched, you may want to go back and follow the entire course from the start. You can do that using the playlist that's linked down below. In our game, we now have a world in which the player can move from room to room. In the last lesson, I explained how to extend the parser to accept commands such as take the sword and drop the ring. Now we have to implement those actions. So what is taking and dropping? Fundamentally, they're the same thing. When you take a treasure from a room, you're transferring it from the room's list of treasures to the player's list of treasures. When you drop something, you do the reverse. Transfer it from the player's list to the room's list. You may remember that I showed how to create lists of treasures a couple of lessons back in this course. The player, which is an actor object, and also the room, the class that defines the rooms, they're both descendants of this thing holder class. Thing holder is any sort of object, any game object that can contain a list of things. You can see here's the definition of thing holder. It's got a thing list, and the thing list is itself a class. It's a type of .NET list, and it's been typed to hold thing objects, where thing is one of the basic forms of object that define the various game objects such as room, actor, and the other objects in my game. When the player enters a command to take an object, you can see that's matched in the parser here, then that starts up the whole process of taking the treasure. Here it calls the takeob command, and it passes to it the name of the treasure that was entered. So if the player entered take sword, then wt2.word would be the string sword. So let's have a look at what takeob does. Go to definition, and here we are in the takeob method. First, I try to find the specified object. I've written the thisob method in thinglist. Let's go to the definition of that. This is a fairly simple method that just iterates through the list of things in a thing list to see if the name can be matched. If a match is found, the thing in the list with the matching name is returned. This is a fairly simple way of finding a thing in a list, but it'll do for the time being. Now, if nothing's found, then this match is made on an empty string. The ob name is a nameless object. That shouldn't really ever happen because I have other code that checks that the object name is understood, and so ob name should never really be an empty string. On the other hand, I like to deal with all eventualities just in case this situation might arise. The next bit of code is where the real work takes place. First, I check if the thing is null. It will be null if the specified object name isn't found in the current room, in which case this message will be displayed. Otherwise, the object was found, and this code block executes. I check that the thing T is takeable. In very big or removable objects, such as doors and trees, the can take property will be false, and the player will be told that the thing can't be taken. Otherwise, this line executes. It calls a method called transferOb, passing to it the thing to be taken and the two thing lists. First, the thing list in the current room, that is, in the location of the player, then the player's inventory, the thing list things owned by the player. Now let's look at the transferOb method that does all the work. And here it is. If you're expecting something complicated and difficult, I have good news for you. There are just 2 lines of code here, and they both use standard methods provided by the .NET list class. Remove takes the thing from the from list, here that's the thing list of the current room, and adds it to the to list, which is the thing list owned by the player. What could be simpler? And dropping objects is just as simple. Let's go back to game parser, drop ob, go to that method, and here it is. Look, when the drop command is matched, drop_ob is called, and again it calls the method to try to find a thing called obname in the player's thing list. If it finds one, it calls transfer_ob, which we've just seen, but this time it reverses the order of the two lists so that the player.things is the list from which the object is removed, and player.location.things is the list to which it's added. That is, it's removed from the player's inventory and added to the current room. There's one other problem I've noticed. Now that I have lists of treasures, it's possible that I may have different types of treasures in a single list. Some treasures might be simple things like swords and rings. Others might be thing holders, that is, container objects such as sacks and boxes. And I might even create other descendant classes such as magic things or weapons. And I may want a different way of describing each type of thing when I look at the things in that room. That's a trickier problem than it may sound. To deal with it properly, I need to create some virtual and overridden methods. If you don't know what they are, why you need them, or how to write them, be sure to watch out for the next lesson. Thanks for watching. If you liked this lesson, give it a thumbs up. And if you want an in-depth guide to writing adventure games in C# or Java, you may want to get one of my books. To be notified whenever I upload a new lesson, be sure to subscribe and click that little bell icon.